Hiya Tom, super day up at Formby Hall on Tuesday morning. Just to recap on a little bit of footage that we took during the round on a few key areas. First of all, we take a little look at your setup position from down the line. One of the things we talked about was that during the takeaway we need to get the left shoulder to work down a little bit quicker. If the left shoulder works down at the correct rate, the arms will work in at the correct rate also. And we can see that left shoulder there now just stays a little bit high. One of the reasons it could be staying high is that that right knee flex is maintained a little bit too long. So remember, the minute the club starts working back, the feeling you should have is that the left shoulder's dropping or working down and the right knee is continuously straightening during your takeaway. Players who tend to keep the right knee flexed tend to get that left shoulder working just a touch too level, and it's usually a result of trying to keep the club on the line for a little bit too long. You can see there that the club stays on the line. Having said that, your sort of muscle memory kicks in, you rescue it well, you're in a much more compact position up at the top. The right leg has straightened, the right hip has lifted, and the shoulders now are at 90 degrees to the angle of your spine. From that position, we make a pretty good transition. The first move is definitely a return back into your address posture. However, the right knee tends to just overflex a little bit as you come in. I'll just take that back down. I'm going to remove the other lines, get a line on here for you. And I'm just going to put one more line on your hips. I'm going to come back to that a little bit later. That right knee should never really flex more than it was at address. You can see as the right knee comes in, kicks out in front of you. As a result, we get a little bit too square too early, club a little bit stuck behind us, and then from there we've got to rescue it with the hands. Having said that, much better action than it used to be. They're just things that we've picked out that related to the shots that you were hitting. When we look at it from face on, we discussed that possibly that left knee is staying flexed a little bit too long. We're coming into, we're moving forward, and from this position on now, the left leg should start to straighten to bring the hips out of the forward tilt to allow you to continue to clear. And that left knee stays flexed. You can see the belt buckle doesn't really lift. We've discussed that in previous sessions. And whenever that happens, the body effectively has stopped turning and the rate of closure on the forearm rotation has increased. So key thoughts really, Tom, would be to spend some time. We did talk about the foot flare. This was one taken a little bit later in your session, and you can see there now that both feet have turned out nicely. That right foot turned out nicely, encourages a much better move forward in your downswing from here to here, which will prevent what we see here, this right knee shooting out in the downswing. What we now need to do is learn to gradually straighten that left leg coming through impact so that we can get those hips out of the tilted position and keep the body rotating through impact, and as a result regulate the rate at which the club face closes or you release your angles, which is still leading to the odd fat shot on occasion. In regards to the short game, we can see here from face on to you, this takeaway now much better than it was at the start of the session. We've got to get that club with a wedge still tracing a little bit of an arc on the way back. You can see the club works back a little bit on the inside, not dramatically inside, but slightly inside, and now allows you to attack the ball properly without the fear of shanking the ball off to the right. So we want that club working back, tracing the circle on the way back and on the way through, even on a pitch shot. You can see there, traces the circle going back, tracing the circle on the way through, and much better well-struck shots around the greens. My main drill for you, Tom, will be to straighten that right leg off, hit some shots, keeping the right leg straight to give you a feeling of moving forward, and trying to feel that when you finish at waist height, the left leg's very straight and the buckle on your belt is pointing at the target. Good luck with it. If you need to discuss anything, feel free to drop me a line or give us a call. Well done.